Hello and welcome. This is Angie with thecountrysheetcottage.net. So have you ever made a mistake with your heat transfer vinyl? So you're adding it to your shirt, you put it in the wrong location, you get it off just a little bit, and then the entire project's ruined. You have to throw the shirt away. Maybe you don't have another one, you have to go to the store, you have to get one. I have a product you need to keep in your craft room. It is called Vinyl Liftoff. It's from Albachem. I'm going to link in the description for this video the place where I get mine. It's Direct Vinyl Supply. It actually removes vinyl letters and graphics from fabrics. So anything that's added with heat, you put this on the back and it will break down that adhesive and allow you to remove it. So let's put it to the test on a couple different things. I'm going to put it to test on a onesie as well as a tea towel. So let's take a look and see how this product works. Alright, so here are two onesies, and I actually just made these. So this one, I like the placement of these, and then I was playing around with the placement of these, and let's just say I got this one wrong, right? So I don't like the placement of this Mickey head. Now what do I do? So it's already ironed on there, it's solid, it's on there. What do you do at this point? So when you get it, first of all you need to use it in a well-ventilated area, and when you get it, you'll need to unscrew this cap and poke a hole in the plastic cap and then replace the cap back on here. And then you'll want to use gloves with this. So it is a chemical product and it will help to remove that vinyl mistake, but with any chemicals you want to wear protection. So we're going to add gloves. I'm going to set this one to the side because I liked it, but this is our control piece. So we can kind of see if anything changes colors or happens to the onesie we're going to use here. And we're going to turn this inside out. And I want to remove this Mickey head. And I'm also going to take an old rag and I'm going to put it underneath the shirt so that any of the chemicals don't get on my work surface. Now you want to put as little of this on as possible. So you want to drip it on, or you can even use Q-tips to apply it. And this pours out super fast, and I put the smallest little tiny hole into the plastic thing, so as small as you can get it, and then just really watch it. Pour as little as possible out. And then sort of work that around with your Q-tip to the edges. You might need a little more. Okay, and that actually might be enough. So that was like 5 drips on this Mickey head. You don't need much at all. And we're just going to kind of work it in and then kind of stretch the fabric. So we just stretch it. We'll turn it right side out. You can already see it lift, start to lift up from the garment. So if you can see that. And you can actually put more of this on a clean cloth if there's any residue like glue left on the front. We can just see that just peel right back off. So you can just keep kind of working this, stretching the fabric. We can add more to the back if we need to. So I added just a little more to these ear portions, and now they're coming off. You can see we just have a couple little scrap bits left, so I'm going to continue to add drops, stretch my material, and get these small pieces off. Alright, so now it's completely removed, and I don't actually have any residue on the front, so this needs to dry completely before we can add a replacement Mickey head in place. So I'm going to set that to the side. But I have another experiment. So this towel I made months ago, and it has a couple different HTVs on it. So just like a regular and then a patterned, and it's a little bit thicker material. So I thought I would try the VLR on it as well. So let's try a little bit of the patterned and a little bit of the regular. And we're going to use the same method. So we're just going to kind of drip it on as little as possible. And kind of rub it in a little bit. Maybe a little more around the edges. We'll just give it a couple seconds. And let's actually do a portion of the regular while we're back here. So we'll go ahead and remove this word. So I'm just going to move the H and the E from the for right now. Alright, so this has probably sat long enough. So I'm removing this piece. So I'm just going to kind of stretch on the fabric. So this fabric has less stretch than a onesie would. So that's why I was curious. Plus it's been on there, like I said, quite a while. I'm just going to kind of start picking at some of the edges. I can actually see it lifting up in the middle. If I can just get an edge that lifts, I think we'll be good. I'm actually going to kind of stretch the H and the E too, while that soaks in. This H and the E are just picking right up, so I'm going to go ahead and just remove those. So that E is, the E's off. We'll just pick up the H a little bit too, because I can see like it's off. So again, like I don't really have any residue on the front. One thing I've found, you can actually put a little of this like on the Q-tip and then just kind of rub it for any residue that might be on the front. Now, let's see if we can get this patterned off. So I'm going to add, it's like kind of drying on me, so I'm going to add a little bit more to the back. Try once more. So it's picking up, but weirdly, see if I can get this on camera. It's just kind of deteriorating as it picks up. So it's not picking up in a full piece like the other, but I still think you could get it off, but it kind of stained the towel. So if you can kind of see that the towel is yellow. So if you're using something like a patterned HTV, you might find some staining on your towel. And if you will notice, both the projects I did was with a light color. That's because basically I've heard that this works a lot better on light colors rather than dark. So I'm going to actually work in this corner and just see if this discoloration will peel off too. It is much better. So I think if you, we'll just work that one corner. I think the pattern is going to be way more work than the regular. It just sort of, I mean, absolutely just fell apart. Okay, so if you can see, I can still kind of see the yellow on this side, but I've added more VLR and it is coming up a little bit, whereas it's really yellow on this side. So, regular HTV worked like a charm. Now let's press our Mickey head into place here and make sure it actually sticks. Alright, here's my one. I did the VLR here on this third Mickey head. Here's my control sample. And I mean, I really can't tell the difference at all in the color. It looks really great. The Mickey head next to it, I didn't get any VLR on it on purpose, and it's fine. Like, everything's fine with it. And so now, I'm actually just going to I'm going to avoid my heat transfer vinyl, but I'm going to kind of press that area just to make sure it's really good and dry. And then I'm going to try this time. I did mess it up on purpose last time, but we'll get the Mickey head in location. But we want to protect our other Mickey heads because they don't have our protective coat covering anymore. So I'm going to put a Teflon sheet over that, and we'll press for the recommended time. Alright, so that's done. We're just going to let this cool, and then we'll remove the protective sheet. We're just going to peel this one up. And it is seriously stuck as good as it was the first time before I started all this. So there we go. A way to fix any HTV mistakes that you make with vinyl liftoff. I'm going to link in the description below for the product I used as well as a place to buy it. I highly recommend it for regular heat transfer vinyl, but if you get into something like the patterned, be aware that you could see some discoloration, and it was just much harder to use on the patterned. So this is the patterned HTV from Cricut. This one was regular HTV from Cricut, and this one was a mosaic heat transfer vinyl from Cricut. But I would say any regular heat transfer vinyl you would be fine, but if you get into the patterns, printables, that type of thing, it may not work as well, so you might want to experiment a bit with that. So now you have a way to fix your mistakes. Alright, so my onesie turned out perfectly. I love how it turned out. Definitely would recommend it, like I said, for regular heat transfer vinyl. I was less impressed with the patterned heat transfer vinyl that I put on this towel. Now, I put this on this towel months and months and months ago. It might even be a year now that this heat transfer vinyl has been on this towel. But the regular removed perfectly off the towel. The patterned was meh, okay. Wouldn't entirely recommend it for that. But if you've just ruined a project, you might as well try, right? That's what I think anyway. Because it takes like just a couple drops of this stuff and it starts lifting up right away. It took a little bit more for the patterned. So I would say for the Mickey head, I'd probably use like 6 to 8 drops. And I mean a drop of the vinyl lift off. And the same for the heat transfer vinyl on the kitchen towel. It might even took less for the regular. And for the patterned, I use a little bit more because I was having a hard time getting it to come off. So just keep that in mind. But great thing for your craft room if you want to save those mistakes. So if you love this video, if it helped you at all, please give us a thumbs up. If you have any questions about anything we've done today, any questions about the vinyl lift off itself, please ask those in the comment section below. If you don't see the link in the description below, it's probably because you have to click show more. So look for a button that says show more to see the full description. Now, if you have not already, head on over to our YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button. We have these types of videos all the time and you don't want to miss any of those. So thank you all so much for joining me today, and I hope this helps you save some of your heat transfer vinyl mistakes. Thanks, y'all, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.